Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Heat's Eric Spoelstra reflects on system error on fatal Ja Morant buzzer beater. Memphis Grizzlies star Ja Morant hit a game-winning shot to snap the Miami Heat's 6-game winning streak as the team lost 110-108 in a heartbreaking finish. As the Heat was amid a turnaround coming off a 10-game skid and into the aforementioned winning streak, the team was competitive against the Grizzlies Thursday night as it all culminated in an ending that went against the system as explained by head coach Eric Spoelstra. With under 14 seconds left, Memphis inbounded the ball to Morant and initiated a screen that got off Davion Mitchell and instead was covered by the rookie center Kel'el Ware. Morant drove on him but found the space for separation and hit a turnaround jumper to win the game. Morant would finish the game with 30 points while the rookie in Ware would have 13 points to go along with 15 rebounds and 3 blocks as he had another standout outing, though people will look solely on the final play. Still, Spoelstra would say how the 20-year-old is making big-time strides and doesn't regret that Ware was guarding Morant, but didn't approve of leaving anybody on an island. He's making big-time strides, Spoelstra said. Probably people will say, hey, why would you switch? Look, I don't have to explain it, but he's been doing that and guarding some pretty good guys, but never on an island. We don't want that. That's not our system. Yeah, it is a good thing he was this close to getting a big-time offensive rebound there down the stretch. He got his hands on it, and that could have been a big extra couple points for us. Even after the gut-punching loss, the Heat still believe they're trending in the right direction, which has some validity to it since adversity was present, and fought it hard, but to no avail thanks to Morant. Tyler Herro would lead Miami with 35 points on 12 for 23 shooting from the field with 9 rebounds and 4 assists as most of the production came in the third period where he had 19 points. He would say to Clutch Points how Morant made a tough shot and even with the defeat, the team is further along than we were 2 or 3 weeks ago. We obviously competed really hard, Herro said. It was a back-and-forth game all night. You know, we went down 8, I like how we answered the run. And we went on the run of our own. Ja made a tough shot at the end. I thought we could have been a little bit more disruptive, you know, with shrinks and stabbing at the ball and different things like that. He was able to get a tough shot off, and he ended up making it. It's obviously a tough loss, but I think we're further along than we were 2 or 3 weeks ago. It was also a great effort from Heat captain Bam Adebayo, who had 26 points on 11 of 26 shooting from the field, 2 of 4 from deep with 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 blocks. He would agree with Herro that Morant made a tough shot and also with Spoelstra that we preach that never to leave a guy on an island. He made a tough shot at the end of the day, but, you know, we got to get activated, Adebayo said to Clutch Points while also downplaying that blame should be on Ware. You know, we preach that to never leave a guy on an island, especially when it's 4 seconds left, that's when you know it's time to make a play. But Ja made a tough play tonight. At any rate, there are now 5 games left as Miami is 35-42, which puts them 9th in the Eastern Conference where the team will next face the Milwaukee Bucks. Heat's winning streak ends at 6, falling to Grizzlies on Ja Morant's game winner. Takeaways. 5 takeaways from the Miami Heat's 110-108 loss to the Memphis Grizzlies, 45-32, on Thursday night at Kaseya Center to begin a 3-game homestand on the back end of a back-to-back set. The Heat, 35-42, continues this stretch at home on Saturday against the Milwaukee Bucks, with both teams battling for postseason position in the final days of the regular season. The Heat-Grizzlies matchup produced an ultra-competitive game. But in the end, the Heat's season-long 6-game winning streak is over. You had 2 very desperate teams and this is what you got to love about this time of the year, Heat coach Eric Spoelstra said. Both teams knew what was up, both teams were playing for something. They were able to secure the win. The Heat opened the game on a 9-0 run, with Bam Adebayo scoring all 9 points for Miami. but the Grizzlies pushed back to take their first lead of the night at 41-39 with 4:38 left in the second quarter. The Heat, which was playing on the second night of a brutal back-to-back after flying from Boston and landing in Miami just before 3 a.m. on Thursday morning, still managed to enter halftime with a 1-point advantage. What followed was a back-and-forth second half that included 15 lead changes and 6 ties. The Grizzlies took an 8-point lead midway through the third quarter, and the Heat responded by closing the period on a 23-14 run to enter the fourth quarter ahead by 1 point. Miami and Memphis continued to trade punches down the stretch, with the Heat taking a 106-105 lead on a Davion Mitchell three-pointer with 2:01 to play. "I really felt like once Davion hit that three, I thought we were winning this game," Spoelstra said. But Jaren Jackson Jr. put the Grizzlies back ahead, hitting a corner three off an assist from Scottie Pippen Jr. to give Memphis a 2-point advantage with 1:07 left in the fourth quarter. The Heat again had an answer, though, as Tyler Herro made a 11-foot floater to tie the score at 108 with 14.2 seconds to play. The problem is the Heat left too much time on the clock, as the Grizzlies came out of a timeout and let their two-time All-Star guard Ja Morant go to work. Morant took the ball up the court, got Kel'el Ware to switch on to him and made a game-winning 9-foot fadeaway jumper over where that rolled in as the final buzzer sounded. "We came out of the timeout knowing where we were going, away from Mitchell and Bam," Morant said of his game winner. "Anybody else, you're on an island. At that point, just get the switch and then Ja just go be Ja." Of the shot, Ware said, "He got the lucky shot. That's it." But Spoelstra believes the Heat could have made Morant's game-clinching shot tougher by sending help for Ware. "We're at our best when we're active, not just leaving a guy on an island," Spoelstra said. "We feel fully comfortable with Kel'el guarding a lot of different kinds of players, especially in an ISO situation. But not on an island." In Morant's first game against the Heat since October 2021, he finished with 30 points on 11 of 22 shooting from the field, 3 of 7 shooting on threes and 5 of 6 shooting from the foul line, 5 rebounds, 3 assists and 1 steal. He scored 27 points in the second half. Jeff Teague says Miami Heat need one more piece. "If they traded for Trae Young, I wouldn't be mad." The Miami Heat lost a star player in Jimmy Butler when the team parted ways with him ahead of the trade deadline, and it hasn't exactly been smooth sailing since then. Although Miami is currently enjoying an impressive winning streak, the Heat are still well below the .500 mark on the season with a record of 35-41 and recently endured the longest losing streak since the start of Eric Spoelstra's head coaching tenure. Former Atlanta Hawks guard Jeff Teague said that while he likes the current iteration of the Heat, he also thinks the team needs one more piece and mentioned star guard Trae Young as a hypothetical target. Young would seemingly raise the Heat's ceiling, partly because he's long been one of the top scorers at the point guard position in the NBA. He's averaged 24-plus points per game in every season after his rookie campaign and is currently averaging 24.1 while shooting 40.8% from the field and 33.4% from three-point range in the 2024-25 season. The former University of Oklahoma star has one of the highest career scoring averages in NBA history among players who have appeared in at least 400 games. He's averaging 25.3 points per game for his career, and that mark ranks in the top 15 in NBA history, ahead of legends like Kobe Bryant, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Steph Curry, and others. But for as much of a knack as Young has for putting the ball through the bottom of the net, he might be an equally gifted facilitator. He's averaging a league-best 11.6 dimes per contest in his 7th season in the NBA and has averaged double digits in assists multiple times before. Young's passing chops were on full display in Atlanta's recent win over the Milwaukee Bucks on March 30. The 26-year-old, who isn't the most efficient player around, misfired on all but 4 of his 16 shot attempts from the floor but made up for his lackluster shooting game by dishing out 19 assists compared to only 2 turnovers. Whether or not Young is a realistic trade target for the Heat is debatable, but the rationale for Miami trying to add him to its roster is there and abundantly clear. And you, fan? What do you think about Trae Young's situation? Write to us in the comments.